What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend, but we have a lot to talk about heading into the market for this week. First of all, Bitcoin is at a major resistance level right around 50,000 right now. We're also going to be talking about some news in Afghanistan, inflation data, and just overall some plays to watch for this week. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's video. We have a lot of great plays, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But Tom, what's going on?
Yeah, I guess we'll start out with the good news first. And the best news right now is that Bitcoin is flying up. They actually came up and hit the $50,000 resistance, which is pretty key. It got really close at like 49,700 or 800, really close either way, but it looked really good. Actually, it started having a pretty good uptrend last week at around 4,400, had a couple of great green days. And then over the weekend here, we have been kind of going down off of that resistance, but man, Bitcoin has been on fire ever since it hit that 30,000 support a few weeks ago, and it's just been flying up. So I really like Bitcoin right now. I like Mara and Riot with this move too, and I hope that we can break this 50K resistance and start to get up. But man, 50K has been so big for Bitcoin in the past. I'm honestly just happy to see us back there after being down so low just a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's all over the place, but I'm glad to see it trending in the right direction. I know it's lingering around that like 30, I guess you could say like 33,000 area for a couple weeks or so, but it's awesome to see it trending in the right direction. And I'm very excited to see if it can break above that $50,000 level, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, and I would expect it to maybe happen this week. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now in Afghanistan, in the market overall. So I would hope that Bitcoin could kind of get some volatility and start to move up. And, a lot of people have been talking about possibly hedging the market with Bitcoin. And, usually gold in the past has been used for that more heavily than Bitcoin, but it makes a lot of sense. And, I could see Bitcoin possibly going up if our market starts to fall. And with all this volatility going on, Bitcoin's been flying up to 50K. So it seems like Bitcoin's honestly liking this type of volatility with the market.
Good stuff. And then what other major news are you watching heading into this week?
Man, there's actually a lot of economic figures coming out this week. We have figures on existing home sales coming out on Monday. CNBC reports it on Wednesday. We have durable goods and jobless claim numbers on Thursday. And then revised figures on the second quarter GDP are going to be coming out Thursday as well. But those are expected to show little change. The GDP is a pretty big economic figure there. But Friday is going to be, I think, the biggest day, bringing the release of personal spending data along with the core PCE price index, which the Fed that's actually the Fed's preferred gauge on inflation. And they really look at that type of data. And it's been running around their 30-year highs right now on that PCE price index. So really watch out for that index to come out on Friday. I think that'll be a big piece of data, especially for the Fed and everything going on right now with like the FOMC and just everything like that. So I think that'll be a big piece of data, especially regarding inflation and everything like that. And it looks like the SPY closed really strong on Friday. So I think that this data this next coming week will be pretty important.
There we go. And then Tom, I know that there's a lot going on in Afghanistan right now. And I thought there was some pretty big news with airlines. What's going on there?
Yeah, it turns out the Pentagon is actually ordering U.S. airlines to help fly Afghanistan evacuees out of the country. And they're ordering 3 planes from each airline, starting with American Airlines, Atlas Air, Delta Airlines, Omni Airlines, 2 planes from Hawaiian Airlines, and 4 planes from United Airlines. And that's pretty big news. I'm not sure if that's going to be able to help these airlines or not, but at least it'll be bringing some good sentiment to the stocks, which is good news there. And hopefully the Pentagon pays them for this. That would be good news too. So I'd like to see it, and hopefully it helps AAL get up there. They have been kind of falling off, Mike, and they're sitting right at that like 1825 support that we hit off of a few times over the past couple of weeks. And like these airlines have really been falling the past couple of weeks, and hopefully this helps them turn around.
For sure, like airlines, cruise lines, and even hotel stocks have been consolidating like more towards the downside over the past couple weeks, like you said. I was really looking at stocks like RCL and then even, HLT in the video I made yesterday. I've been seeing a lot of the smart money get into calls on these plays. So normally like cruise lines, airlines, and hotel stocks kind of run together. So, I'm very curious to see how this catalyst will affect these airline stocks. So they'll definitely be on my radar. And then Tom, do we have like any big earnings this week?
We don't have any huge earnings, but here's the chart for it. We have a few of these Chinese companies actually reporting, which is going to be really interesting. We have JD reporting on Monday before open, so that'll actually be really fun to watch for tomorrow. We do have some decent size earnings, but nothing too big. We have Best Buy, Nordstrom, Advanced Auto Parts. Looks like on Wednesday, the big ones are going to be Dick's, Salesforce. Snowflake has been pretty big lately. Watch out for them. Shoe Carnival. Thursday, Xpeng or XPENG, they're pretty good. Peloton, Abercrombie, Dollar General. Friday, we got Big Lots and Hibbett Sports. So it's not going to be the biggest day, the biggest week for earnings, but definitely still pretty large. And I think like Dick's, which is DKS, could be pretty big. I know Best Buy has been really volatile the past year, so maybe they'll get a pretty big move too.
Yeah, I think the main ones I'm going to be watching are on Wednesday after close. We have Salesforce, Snowflake, and then SPLK. So I'll definitely have those ones on radar or on my radar on Wednesday. But Tom, let's talk a little bit more about these Chinese stocks like Baba, Baidu, JD, FXI. I know we talked about them a decent amount last week, but they're just continuing to fall. And like you pointed out, JD has earnings tomorrow. So I think that's going to add even more volatility into the mix. So I don't know, they're really in a tough spot. I know that some people are like, now's a great time to buy the dip, and other people are saying, don't invest into these stocks at all. They're too risky, and you shouldn't be investing into China. So guys, let us know your thoughts on this situation in the comments down below. I'm very curious to hear. I know there's a lot of people on a lot of different sides, but either way, there's a ton of volatility. I think it would be pretty solid to sell some puts on like Baba right now, or even if you don't want to tie up that much margin, you can always go over to like FXI. It's only like a $38 stock, and the IV is rising quite a bit.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's actually a really low price stock compared to Baba, and it'll actually move up a decent amount too. So looks pretty solid. And we are nearing support on a lot of these Chinese stocks. Like if we just go check FXI, of course, they're nearing the support being the ETF at around $38. But if we go check out Baba, they're getting pretty close to that support around $150. They've really been tanking off. JD is actually really close to their $60 support. So maybe these stocks will kind of hit off of their supports and then start to go up for the long term. And if they do, FXI and Baba and JD will all do great. But man, you're right. FXI being so low priced is really hard to pass up because you're looking at it and it's so low priced and it could go up a pretty high percentage too. It's not like it's just a slow mover by any means.
For sure. And then on top of that, it's just like a bunch of different China stocks all in one. So I guess you get a little bit of like diversification in there as well. And, like you said, like it does have room to pop up, which is pretty good to see. But Tom, it is now time for our member of the day. Today's member of the day is AJMC3. Huge shout out, AJ. You're asking great questions, and we wanted to give you a shout out for being willing to learn and just asking great questions, and for being super active in the Discord and then joining the live streams as well. So huge shout out, AJ. Thanks for everything you do. But Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays. With the first one, we have Disney to the upside.
Yep, and with Disney, go ahead and make them break out above 175.50.
Good stuff. With the next one, we have Z to the upside.
Yep, Zillow, and make them actually break out of this resistance around 96.25, and that's going to be a pretty big level.
All right, with the last one, we have PENN also to the upside.
Yep, Penn Gaming, they actually bounced off that nice support last week. Make them break out above 68.50.
All right, so we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow. Basically, if they break above the levels Tom listed, we like them for quick in and out day trades. But now we have to cover the $8.5 million trade for this Friday. We are looking at ticker symbol BABA, and we are looking at the 160 strike calls for this Friday, August 27th. There was $8.5 million put into them. And it's very tricky. Baba is bleeding off big time. Part of me thinks that they're like shorting these calls, but then part of me thinks that they're longing them because, Baba fell so much. And, at the same time, in the past, it has bounced pretty big, in situations like this. So I don't know, I'm pretty neutral, but To me, it just looks like either way, it's a very speculative play given that it's a weekly expiration and it's a little bit out of the money. And then on top of that, you're dealing with one of the most volatile stocks in the market right now. So I don't know. I'm just going to say neutral, Tom.
Yeah, it's really hard to call this one. I mean, it's so close to the money that like Baba could easily like go up through 160. Like if JD has good earnings and maybe turns like the sentiment on these Chinese stocks around or something, I could definitely see it going up. Really hard to say though, $8 million into 160 calls that expire next week. That's a really hard one to guess, I think. And personally, I would lean towards they're shorting it, but who knows if China stocks like fly up 10% or something next week, maybe they knew something.
Yeah, great point. So let's get right into the questions from the previous video. With the first question, we have Mentos saying, "Hey Mike and Tom, what are your thoughts on Zillow and Peloton stock for the long term?" So I like them both. I'll say that. Honestly, I like Redfin more than Zillow. I know that Zillow has like a greater market share and all that. However, I think Redfin has more growth potential, and that's just my opinion. Always trust your gut. But either way, they kind of move the same way. So I like them both. I like Zillow, Redfin, and Peloton, all for the long term.
Yeah, Peloton's my favorite out of all of them, of course, but I do like Redfin and Zillow too. It's just, they're not my specialty as far as stocks go. Like I'm not too big like into the housing market or anything like that. So, but I do like them as far as stocks go. And especially like Zillow, I think that they move pretty good. And then Redfin is actually bouncing like right off support. And they've had two pretty solid green days. So I'm gonna be looking for them to possibly maybe go back up above $50 here over the next week.
Good stuff. With the next question, or next comment, I should say, we have Jason saying, "Good stuff, guys, and thanks for the shout out. I've been buying the Zoom dip, so I also really like Zoom for the long term. They've kind of just been consolidating for like the past couple months, and they have earnings pretty soon. So, Tom, what levels are you eyeing?"
Yeah, with Zoom, there's actually a huge support down here, right around $300. You could say 305 to 300. There's definitely a big level right there. And we are going down into that level, which would make me think that we could hit there. But there is also another support kind of around like 330 to 333, kind of like where we're bouncing right now. So we might get a little bit of a bounce back up, given that there is a little bit of support at 330. But I think that we might fall back below that. But personally, I hope that we go up through it, but it's just not been looking good the past few weeks for Zoom.
All right. And then we have Raphael saying, "Nice video. I killed it on Macys today." So that's awesome. I know Macys was really popping up over like the end of last week. And, speaking of Macys, Tom, it looks like they're breaking out of their yearly highs right now, right at that like $22 level. I know it's not their all-time high, but like what levels are you watching?
Yeah, they're actually looking pretty solid, Mike. Like you said, $22 was pretty big for them. Honestly, 23 seems like a pretty big resistance as well. I'll go ahead and plot it here on the chart. But overall, I mean, I've liked Macy's. The thing is just that they're in that retail sector, which, I mean, the retail sector is good. It's just that there's a lot of, the past few years, these companies have definitely been getting hit pretty hard in retail. So just be a little careful of that. But I really liked the momentum last week with earnings. And it honestly blew my mind, Mike, whenever we were talking about this on Thursday morning. I thought it was crazy to see Macy's flying up like this. But hey, I'm glad that they're doing well. And I'm glad they're kind of turning it back around for them. And I'm also glad that they're kind of breaking out of this like longer term wedge play that they've been in for a while. It's just all the technicals have been looking pretty good for them lately.
Good stuff. And then we have Andrew making a comment about AMC with the rocket emoji. So yeah, AMC's not doing too bad. It's still holding its ground right at $30 or so. It's kind of trying to bounce up. It's just like lots of back and forth movement over like the past couple weeks. It is in the middle of its range right now, right between $30 and $40. It's just right in the middle, so it's hard to have like any gauge of sentiment right now. But Tom, what do you think? Like, what are some of the next levels you're watching?
Yeah, we actually hit off of like right around the $32 like intraday support on Friday. So not like too big of a daily support level, but on an intraday, it's pretty big. And I would honestly watch for it to fall below 32. And then as far as resistance goes to the upside, big resistance up here actually right around 38.25. That's going to be pretty big. It hit there around 3 times the past few weeks, and really watch for that. If it breaks 38.25, I think we'll get up to $40 or higher pretty easily. And I do like the way it closed strong on Friday with AMC. It honestly looks like it could possibly go up again on Monday. I'll definitely have my eyes out for it. And the good news with AMC is that they're around support, and sometimes they move whenever the market starts to go down. So that's good news, is that it doesn't always follow the market. So if the market starts to go down, who knows, maybe a lot of these traders who are into some of these like regular stocks will hop back into these hype stocks again.
There we go. So guys, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. So if you like our content, definitely don't forget to subscribe. But Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or like anything you're watching heading into the week?
I'm still going to be eyeing up those airlines pretty largely. You know, there's all this stuff going on in Afghanistan. They're calling the airlines to come help get people out right now. Hopefully, it helps the airlines in the news. You know, AAL's right on support at like $18. They're having planes over there, so hopefully that these stocks get a turnaround. Delta, same story, been going down the past couple of weeks and is at support. Definitely watching that, and then be really careful this week, guys, with all these price indexes and stuff coming out, like the PCE index coming out on Friday. It's going to be pretty big data, and people are really looking at that for inflation. So be really careful. The markets are right around all-time highs. We're either going to have a breakout or maybe we'll start to turn back down, Mike. But honestly, it almost looks like the SPY wants to start to break out again. So definitely going to be an interesting week. And, you know, we're kind of like at a crossroads. We have all these weird catalysts going on, but stocks keep going up. So we'll have to see what goes on. But with all this stuff going on in Afghanistan and stuff, don't be surprised if we see the market fall.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, if you want to trade with Tom, myself, and our bots every single day, you can click that first link in the description down below. Daily options, swing trades, day trades, order flow bots, custom bots, and you can talk with Tom and myself all day long. It's a great community. You can cancel at any time. And guys, like if you just need help trading options or you want like daily plays, it's that first link in the description down below, and you can cancel at any time. So definitely check it out. And besides that, thanks for watching.